love, and honor. Divine Rising. It's time for the YouTube book reading of The Healing Power of Water by Dr. Masaru Emoto. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Neveu Riley. Peace, everyone. Oh, yes. And a big shake 'em up shout out to thank you, Melanie Layton. Highest heart love. 3 shakes of honor for your $50 PayPal through these LA fires. It's things like that really helps me get through. Helps all of us, so I honor you, Melanie. Thank you for reading with us. Thank you for your encouragement. All right. We pick up at page 137. All right. This is chapter 8. The Healing Power of Water. Chapter 8. Here we go. Dowsing for water. Today, dowsing is used for many different purposes: health, earth energies, oil, archaeology, and many more. However, by far the most important target for diviners is water. Until recently in Britain, a liter of water cost more than the same amount of gas in the US. Many feel that the major battles of the 21st century won't be over oil, but over an even more basic commodity: water. Hydrologists explain that all water comes from the sky as rain and then goes through a well-known cycle of falling on the land, going into the rivers that and flowing into lakes and oceans where it evaporates up to the skies only to fall again as rain. This is called secondary water because it's used over and over again. Dowsers find that in addition to this source, there's another one. It's a primary water that comes from deep in the earth and is the result of the chemical processes going on down there. For example, when you mix an acid and a base, especially under heat and pressure, you get a salt plus water. And where does this primary or juvenile water go when under heat and pressure? It moves away toward the surface. Through any cracks it can find, it gathers to form enormous underground rivers deep in the bowels of earth. And when it finds a crack in the ceiling, it goes upward again in what American dowsers call a dome. The British dowsers call a blind spring. When it is very occasionally reaches the surface, it's called a geyser. But in most cases, its upward journey is halted upon reaching an impermeable layer, such as clay, and so it spreads out laterally as veins. From above, this looks like a spider with an odd number of legs. Most holy wells come from this primary water. In addition to H2O, Many of them have other elements mixed in as well. At the Chalice Well in Glastonbury, England, for example, the water is called Chalybeate. While it runs clear, it's full of iron. Across the road, the White Spring is full of calcium. See Chapter 17. Well above the timberline and only a short distance from the top of Mount Katahdin in Maine, where the sun first hits the United States each morning, is a spring of water. Above it is only hard rock. So, where does the water come from? It can't be rainwater percolating. It can't be rainwater percolating down from above. It's primary water, and it comes from way below the base of the impressive mountain. The message here is that while we're facing a critical shortage of secondary water around our planet, there are ample supplies of primary or juvenile water that dowsers can find for us. These guys, oh, thank you for reading with us the healing power of water. We're at the middle of page 138. No dowser hits water 100% all of the time, but there are water well dowsers in California who consistently have success year after year between 85 and 95% of the time. Not only can they tell their clients exactly where to put the drill bit in, but how deep they'll have to go and how many gallons a minute they'll get. Dowsing is a practice that enhances our intuition and can connect us to sources of information that can't be found through rational methods. Until relatively recently in our history, diviners were burned at the stake. But one form of divination was judged too important to include in this witch hunt, and that was water dowsing, despite sometimes being referred to as water witching. It was just too valuable a skill to wipe off the face of Europe, as happened with so many other uses of this ancient art. It's only within the past half century that these other applications have been rediscovered, and it's amazing how many of them are also directly connected to veins and domes of primary water. For example, domes of primary water are found underneath all ancient sacred sites. This was first noted by Reginald Allender Smith, who worked for the British Museum and in 1925 became the trustee representative on the Ancient Monuments Board for England. After he retired in the 1930s, he was one of the first to publish articles in the British Society of Dowsers Journal stating that he had doused water under all of the ancient sacred sites that were also attracting the attention of lay hunters. One can commit any heresy after retiring. According to the theory of ley lines, the water is yin, and the energy lays 6 to 8 foot wide straight beams of energy that cross at the power centers directly over the yin veins, or domes of water, are yang. Likewise, information about many archaeological sites can be enhanced by seeing their relationship, or lack thereof, to water. For example, most Bronze Age hut circles in Britain weren't built over primary water. In terms of health, German dowsers found in the 1920s that certain houses had a high incidence of cancer, Krebs cancer houses. And under these houses, but not their neighbors, they found crossing of underground veins of water. It seems that it is the flow rather than the water itself that's associated with many forms of degenerative disease. And see, now this would make so much sense, especially knowing how tumors work in the body and how they're clusters of cells that aren't moving. So, wow, this is deep. This is great, great put together right here, right? Thank you guys so much for reading with us. Hello, peace, peace. In terms of health, German dowsers found in the 19th. Yeah, it seems that it is the flow rather than the water itself that's associated with many forms of degenerative disease. Drinking water dowsers who open themselves up to these energies can frequently be seen wearing copper bracelets to help ease the pain of arthritis. Many alternative health practitioners find that all their work can be undone if their patient goes home after a treatment and sleeps over underground water crossings. Again, it's the flow that seems to cause the problems. Primary water, once it reaches the surface of the earth, is usually perfectly fine to drink. So, underground water plays an important part in many ways of dowsing. It can contribute to contracting disease, and it can enhance the possibility of connection with the numinous at sacred spaces, but it's the ability to find good sources of primary water that will be Dowser's major contribution to the 21st century. And that concludes chapter 8. So good, right? I had to come on this AM and give you this piece so you could go out in your day and enjoy. I love reading in the AM. It gets me really going. So thank you so much for reading with us. The Healing Power of Water. We just completed Chapter 8 by Dr. Masaru Emoto, talking about water dowsing. And the next section is Chapter 9, Listening to Water. Highest heart love, everyone. I want you to have a terrific day. Go out into the world, get some sunlight, look up, see what energy you get from it, right? Thank you again to all that read books. We honor you. It's a beautiful day, right? Oh, awesome! Yes, it is. Oh, man. Nice heart love. Thank you. Have an excellent day, guys. I'll talk to you soon, and I will be reading again tomorrow, okay? Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Peace.